Are you still waiting for the world to finally see you, or are you brave enough to see yourself? For a long time, I was not brave. I was the opposite. I was afraid what other people think of me. I took everything personally. And I really diminished my own light. I didn't get out of my own shell. I always pretended to be someone that I'm not, always holding back, being careful about how I move, how I talk. Until I realized one thing, and I internalized it. Life is not happening to you, but life is happening for you. And in this video today, I want to share with you things that I've realized in the past months and years of my life, with the hope that it will inspire you to change that behavior, that pattern of taking things personally, of playing small and not showing the world the amazing person that you are. Hi, my name is Martin. I made it my purpose to share here with you authentically, openly, unapologetically, and without holding back about my life, about my learnings, experiences, with the hope that you will take charge of your own life, that you live a self-led life that is full of purpose, of hope, of love, and that you are in the driver's seat of your own life. And today's topic really dives deep into that purpose that I have, that I really, really love talking about. And that is stop taking everything personally. And why do I love talking about it? Because for a long time, I've not done that. I've had such a hard time. I really had a hard time being true to myself. And I remember a conversation I had, I think like a couple of years ago with my cousin. And she said that if it hits you, it fits you. First I was like, I'm not sure if that is true for me. But I soon realized that was gold, what she said. Because it was kind of like, when I started reflecting on what she said, every time when I felt triggered, every time I felt like there is some kind of weird sensation, emotions, stuff like that coming up by someone else saying something to me or behaving in a certain way towards me, I was like, why does that hit me? Why does that trigger me? Because in the end, everything is just like a mirror, like the mirror effect. Everything is a reflection. And someone's behavior towards us is a very big indicator of how we see ourselves, how we show up in life, how we treat ourselves, the patterns that we have, the beliefs that we have. If we believe people are bad, or in relationships, I always get the wrong people for me, then you are training yourself to look out for red flags. And usually law of attraction is kind of like, okay, if that's what you're asking for, like the universe doesn't know the word no. If you say, I don't want that, it's like, okay, here you have like what you don't want. And being aware of those patterns and beliefs that we have, we can start detaching from what other people say, what other people do, and take responsibility for our own reaction, for our own response. And that way we can stop attaching to the meaning we give, what we think other people think about us, questioning, why is this happening to me? And we can step into our own power and say, what is life doing for me? What can I learn from that situation about myself, about life, about the bigger picture? The thing is, taking something personally is something that very often we are trained to do. We are trained to do it, and at the same time, we are kind of judged for doing it. Like someone is shouting at us because they don't want something, like they want us to do something, or they don't want us to do something, like when we were children. And then we might start crying, and then they're like, oh, stop crying, don't be so sensitive. It's like confusing. It's like, wait, you were just shouting at me, now you're telling me I cannot react to that. Like it's a confusion that happens. And especially when it's happening in childhood or early youth, we can become like wounded children. And the question is, there's like a song I love listening to, and it's a German song, and it's about like, are you a wonder child or are you for wonders blind? And I love that because the question is, are you reacting based on the wounded child of you, or are you responding based on the wonder child that you could be? Because if we look at children, I'm blessed with two nieces and a nephew, and I love them with all my heart. And it's so much fun watching them play. They have like their own imagination. They're in different worlds. When they see something, there's like so much wonder. They question pretty much everything. Like children, they have that phase where they, like the why phase. They ask why. I had a conversation with my nephew a couple of years ago when he was in that phase, and he told me something, and then I responded, and then he was like, why? And then I gave him the answer, and he continued that like 4 or 5 times, and until the end where he was like, again, asking me why, and I was like, well, because you just told me so. And he's like, oh, okay. So they're always like curious. Curiosity is so important if you want to start creating your own life, taking charge of your own life. If you're not curious, then where's the wonder? Like wonder is such a blessing that we are born with. But at one point, most of us lose that kind of wonder, and we start acting and behaving based on the wounds that we have. And I get it. I've done that for a long time. I've been in victim mode for most of my adulthood. When something happened to me, I was like, oh, why me again? When I was in a relationship and they didn't treat me well or left me, I was like, why me? Why can I not be in a happy relationship where someone loves me? I was like pitying myself. I was so like in such a victim mentality until I understood life is happening for me. Because what happened is that those partners, they reflected back things that are unhealed within me. Things that I want to change because they're not serving me, but I didn't even know they were in my system, in my subconscious, until they reflected it back to me based on their behavior and my reaction to it. And that gives us an opportunity to change, to grow, to become someone bigger and better. Not saying the version that you are right now is not good enough. Completely opposite. Accept where you are. But life is about growth. Everything that lives grows. Look at nature. Once a tree or a flower stops growing, it starts dying. And the same with us. If we stop growing spiritually, mentally, emotionally, we start deteriorating. We start dying from the inside out. And without judgment, but that's why so many people look way beyond their age, because internally they're already dead. And that's super incredibly sad. That's why I'm creating this content to inspire you to change yourself, to change your outlook on life, because there are so many wonders. I mean, I've been telling you in previous videos, I've been through one of the most horrible experiences in my life in the beginning of this year when I was left by someone who I thought I'm going to build a future with. Previously, I would have probably not taken that long to move on, to detach, but something was different this time because this person opened up like Pandora's box of unhealed wounds, of trauma from my youth, from my childhood. But what did I do? Well, first I went into total victim mode. But then I realized, was like, no, you do not want to stay there because you have now a choice. Either you stay there and nothing will change, everything is going to get worse, or you take this as an opportunity to learn more about yourself, to grow, and especially to heal. And that's what I did. Am I completely free of the attachment? No, not yet. But I'm step by step moving forward. I do that by looking at myself, looking what do I want? What do I need right now? How can I take care of myself in a more loving and kind way? And that way, again, I stop taking things personally and I start taking experiences and situations, positive and negative, as an opportunity for me to experience life from different angles. Jay Shetty said it once, life is like a heartbeat. If it goes up and down, that means you're alive. The flat line usually means dead. And you don't want to be dead while you're still alive. I've lost people in my early 20s, also in my teens, in my childhood. Young people who were sick, who got hit by a car, who took their own lives. They were young and had so much to live for and had so many years ahead of them. But their life was cut short. And looking at those people, they had so much life within them. They were so beautiful from the inside out. And I'm like, if I'm alive, I do a disservice to those people whose lives were cut short. If I do not take life on and say, I want to be truly alive. I want to experience it all. Whatever comes, I know I'm strong enough to get through it. And that way, you are taking back the power. You're taking it away from people who might mistreat you. And you say, I'm the creator of my own life. I'm the creator of my own reality. I can decide how I react, how I take things, if I learn from them, or if I just leave them in the past. It's all choices, and we can make a choice every single day. What choices are you making? Comment below with a yes if you are ready and willing to take charge of your life. Affirm it and take that first step for you. Because if you take the first step for you, that's the first step to take it away from other people, the power away from other people. And that will lead to you not taking everything personally. Now, not taking things personally, I know that's a contradiction right now, but it's impossible, because even if you say, I'm focusing on me, on my growth, on my learnings, etc., that is something personal. So you can take it personally. Do not feel like you have to stop taking everything personally. Take it personally, but choose how you take it. Choose what you take from it. If someone is rude to me, if someone triggers me, I'm like, thank you, because that way I'm learning something new about myself. Does it suck? Yeah. But I can say it sucks, it's terrible, it's awful, it hurts. And at the same time, I can say, but I'm going to take this as a chance to grow, to expand, to create new things in life, to invite new things into life. Speaking of invitations, there is a quote that I came across today, and it says, "You do not have to attend every argument that you are invited to." And I love that. It's like if someone is rude to you, you do not have to react to it. You can decide how you react or respond to it, or if at all. Most of the time, we could just get up and leave. We could just ignore it. And the very interesting thing is that most of the time, even if it's just like a split second on the train where someone is like bumping into us and makes like a rude comment, that's like a split second. And then we go home. We think about it. Like, oh, what happened to this person? Like, then we might talk negatively about the person. Then we might criticize ourselves. Like, oh, why did I not say something back? Or why did I say something back? Or why did I stand in the way? And then we talk about to friends about it. And we relive it in our mind like 100 times. And then we are surprised why we have a negative reaction to it and why for a whole day we feel like shit. If we just accepted reality, and by accepting, I'm not meaning condoning. I'm not saying like, yay, everything is fine, everything is good, like having those pink kind of glasses on. I'm not saying that. Acceptance is one question. Can I change anything about the past or the current moment, right now, not in 2 seconds, right now? If so, then go ahead and do it. If not, which is the case for about 100%, then that is acceptance, where it's like, I cannot change it, but from here on forward, I'm going to be different. I'm going to show up differently. I'm going to respond and not react anymore. I'm going to change my patterns. I'm going to heal. But that is in the future. And acceptance is not that feeling of like, oh, everything is like I'm at peace. I'm like free of all those negative things. No, acceptance is really just asking yourself and be honest with yourself. Can I change something about what just happened? No, I can't. But I can change how I respond to it. And that's all you really need to then move forward differently. Because as long as you say like, oh no, this shouldn't have happened, why did this happen? You cannot change it. And having those negative questions, it will just make it worse and worse and worse. But if you say, I can now change how I'm going to respond moving forward, a new world opens up to you. And that again leads into not taking things personally and being in your own power. So I invite you to reflect in those situations, after those situations, when you feel triggered, when you feel like you're mistreated, when you feel like someone was rude to you, when something stings within you, start reflecting and ask yourself, how can I use that to grow? Because then you are in a solution-based thinking. I always say there's two kinds of people. The people who find a problem for every solution, and the people who, for every problem they find, for every solution, people find a problem, and for every problem, people find a solution. Which one are you? Are you the one who knows what to do, reflect, go within you, grow, learn, heal? Are you one of those people who are taking those steps? Or are you someone who knows what to do, but then You come up with a reason why it's not the right time. You can't do it. Someone else is to blame for why you cannot start changing right now. They are responsible that I got triggered. If so, I encourage you to become a person who finds a solution for problems. Become a solution finder. And that is connected to that wonder child. Are you a wonder child? Are you open and willing to see life differently from now on? Because it's a choice. You can choose what to focus on. You can choose to look for the amazing experiences. And you can choose to look at the negative and say, yes, it sucks, but I can grow from that. I can become more me because of that situation. And therefore, start living that quote that I mentioned in the beginning. Life is not happening to you, but life is happening for you. So with a lot of love, and as always, a big hug, thank you for watching this video. Please leave a like, comment, and share it. Share it with people. I would really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I hope to see you in the next video.